In example 4, we have to solve the equation 7x squared plus 12 equals 1. Now, using this method that we used in the previous example, what we want to do is get the x squared on one side and bring all the numbers over to the other side. So that's going to be 7x squared is equal to 1, and when you bring the plus 12 over, it becomes minus 12. So 7x squared is equal to minus 11. Okay, 1 minus 12 is minus 11. Now you want to divide by 7. So if you divide both sides by 7, you get x squared is equal to negative 11 over 7. And then the way you get rid of an x squared is you take square roots. But remember, when you're trying to go from an x squared to an x in an equation, you have to include plus or minus the square root. So that's plus or minus the square root of 11 over 7. Sorry, minus 11 over 7. Just bear with me 1 second while I fix this. Negative 11 over 7. Okay. Well, that is plus or minus the square root of 11 over 7 times negative 1. And you know where this is going, I hope. That's going to be plus or minus the square root of 11 over 7. And the square root of negative 1 just becomes I. So x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 11 over 7i. Now, it's common for people to request that you don't leave a radical on the bottom. So write this as plus or minus the square root of 11 over the square root of 7 times I. And if we want to get rid of the square root in the bottom, just multiply top and bottom by the square root of the bottom. Okay, so that'll leave us with plus or minus. Okay, the square root of 11 times the square root of 7 is the square root of 77 over the square root of 7 by the square root of 7. Well, the square root by itself, we just remove the square root sign, 7, and it's going to be I. So our final answer, x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 77 over 7i. And please don't try and cancel the 7 with the root 77. You can't cancel numbers inside and outside square root signs, so please don't try to do that. Okay, there you go.